Hi, Coach Matt here with Blue Ridge Marathon Virtual Training Program. I want to talk to you about walking on the big hills. We have some big hills in the Blue Ridge Marathon, and it's perfectly acceptable and sometimes preferable to walk up them, or at least up a portion of them. Many elite ultramarathoners actually incorporate this strategy into a lot of their races. And that logic and that concept actually is pretty applicable for a lot of runners, some runners in our marathon, even though it's not an ultra marathon, but because of the ultra amount of elevation gain loss, it's a good approach. So when and how much should you walk, you might ask? And I'd say that whenever you're going up a hill or a mountain and you've slowed the pace so much that you can't run anymore and you are still redlining it, you're still working really hard and you can't talk, you can't carry on a conversation, you can barely breathe, it's time for a walking break. The amount of energy you're going to expend trying to continue running is not going to be worth it, and it's going to really cause problems later on in the race. So it's time to stop and take a walking break. You can have a strategy to where you find that you might run for a quarter mile and need to walk for 30 seconds. You might run for a half mile and walk for a quarter mile. You might just walk the super steep hills, but it's really okay to do that. And when you're walking, you don't necessarily want to just have a slow amble, power walk the hills. You want to get up them, but it is really a good thing to do if you've gotten to where you're running and it barely even counts as running and you're still really working hard. It's time to slow down and take a walking break. So when you're out here doing your long runs and doing your MHRs, your medium hill run days, then practice these. Practice it if you need to. Walk in some of these hills for, it could be 30 seconds every 5 minutes. You just find a rhythm that works for you to where you're able to even out your effort level. That's what we're going for. We don't want you to where you can barely talk and you can barely breathe. That means you're running too hard. A lot of the marathon should be relatively comfortable. You're going to have harder stretches when you go up the hill, but if you get to find where you're just working so hard, it's time for a quick walking break. Once you can feel that heart rate back down and you can carry on a conversation, start running again. It allows you to keep the effort level as even, as smooth as you possibly can. So it's a great strategy. Practice it while you're in training, and you'll be able to apply it if needed during the marathon.